After repeatedly answering as I became a Muslim and why, I decided to tell the story for the last time, but this time on paper. However, I feel that conversion stories have no value unless they are related to lessons learned, and it is to those lessons that I intend to start. Undoubtedly, there is a certain fascination with conversion stories, and for good reason. Usually involve events that changed their lives, enough to take the convert out of the materialistic world and take it to the spiritual. Those who experience these life's dramas are brought face to face with life's larger issues by the first time, which force them to ask questions about the purpose of life, such as, who made us? And, why are we here? But there are other common elements to the stories of conversion, and one of them is that the convert is brought to his knees in these moments, and most report having prayed sincerely for the first time in their lives. I've been intrigued by these common traits and have jotted down a few significant lessons. The first, I would say, is that most converts who went through these moments of testing and panic prayed directly to God, without intermediate, and without distraction. For example, even those who have spent their lives believing in the Trinity, when faced with a catastrophe, instinctive and reflexively pray directly to God and never to other elements proposals of the Trinity. Let me tell you a story-like example. A popular television evangelist once heard the story of conversion of a born-again Christian who revolved around a terrible shipwreck, of which she was the only survivor. The lady reported how, during your days and nights of survival against the harsh elements of the open ocean, God spoke to her, God guided her, God protected her, etc. You can have an idea. For maybe 5 to 10 minutes she told her story, which was indeed dramatic and captivating, but throughout history she told how God did this, God did that, and seeking His favor, as she prayed to God and God alone. However, when she was saved by a passing ship, she described as the minute he arrived on the deck of the ship, he raised his arms open to thee and shouted, "Thank you, Jesus." Well, there's a lesson here, and it has to do with sincerity. When panicked and stressed by the circumstance, people instinctively pray to God directly, but when they feel safe often return to their beliefs, many, if not most, of which they are misdirected. We all know that many Christians equate Jesus with God, and for those who would like to argue this point, I suggest you read my book on the subject, entitled The First and Final Commandment, The First and Final Commandment, Amana Publications. Towards all the others, I will simply keep saying that the real question is, who is truly saved? There are countless conversion stories, all telling how the God of this or that religion saved the person in question, and all these converts consider themselves based on the truth of the nature of the miracle of his salvation. But since there is only one God and, consequently, only a religion of absolute truth, the truth is that only one group can be right, and all the others live in delusion, with their personal miracles confirming their unbelief rather than the truth. Like God teaches in the Holy Quran, God allows whom He pleases to go astray and direct the contrite to Him. Quran 13:27, and, to those who believe in God, and to Him He will bring them into His mercy and His grace, and He will lead them to His mercy and His grace. He, by means of the straight path. Quran 4:175. As for those who go astray in unbelief, will continue to go astray, as they have chosen. But the strength of faith, even when badly targeted, should not be underestimated. So who will become a Muslim based on my conversion story? Only one person, me. Muslims, you can find some encouragement in my story and others can't, the same way Muslims sigh and shake their heads in despair when they hear others recount the miracles that followed prayers to patron saints, partners in the Trinity or other distractions of the true and only God. Because if a person prays to something or someone other than our Creator, who, if not God, can you answer these prayers? It may be a certain someone who has an interest in to confirm those who are led astray in their particular unbelief. Someone whose dedicated purposes is to lead humanity astray. These are topics covered in detail in my book, and those interested can investigate.